O friends, remember this once for all. By Thomas Brooks. Cleanse me from my hidden faults. Psalm 19:12. I hate vain thoughts. Psalm 119, 113. A gracious soul conflicts most with heart sins, and is most affected with spiritual sins, and laments and mourns most over secret sins, invisible sins, sins which lie most hidden and remote from the eyes of the world. He is most affected and afflicted by inward pollution and defilements. Grace will rise and conflict against the most inward and secret vanities of the soul, such as secret self-love, secret hardness of heart, secret unbelief, secret carnal confidence, secret hypocrisy, secret envy, secret malice, secret vainglory, secret fretting and murmuring, secret lusting, secret runnings out of the soul after worldly vanities, and secret pride. True grace makes opposition as well against the being of sin in a man's nature as against the breakings out of sin in a man's life. True grace will make war against the corruptions of the heart as well as against the excursions of the feet. True grace is as willing and desirous to be rid of a polluted heart as it is willing and desirous to be rid of a polluted hand. True grace would gladly have not only sinful acts, but also sinful dispositions, and not only irregular actions, but also inordinate affections, mortified and subdued. O friends, heart sins are root sins. Certainly a proud heart has more of Satan in it than a proud look, and a lustful heart is more vile than a lustful eye. Therefore true grace makes war against heart sins, against spiritual sins, against the most inward secret sins, against those very sins which do not lie within the reach of the piercing eye of the most knowing or observing man in the world, but are only obvious to an omniscient eye. Spiritual convictions can reach to the most inward, secret, spiritual, and indiscernible sins. Certainly, that is a sincere heart, a heart more worth than gold, which smites a man for inward sins as well as for outward sins, for sins done in secret as well as for sins done in public, for spiritual sins as well as for fleshly sins, for sins against the soul as well as for sins against the body. O friends, remember this once for all, that the main battle, the main warfare of a Christian lies not in the open field, it lies not in visible skirmishes, but his main quarrels and conflicts are most within, and his worst and greatest enemies are those of his own house, those of his own heart. A little grace may reform an evil life, but it must be a great deal of grace that reforms an evil heart. A little grace may make a man victorious over outward gross sins, but it must be a great deal of grace that makes a man victorious over inward sins, secret sins, spiritual sins, heart sins. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life. Psalm 139, 23 and 24.